Today I want to do a walkthrough of a big book that I made. It's a big collage book, glue book, what have you, whichever you want to call it. And I made it out of cardboard, corrugated cardboard, this stuff, out of packaging. And what this the outside cover of the book and the spine, and the back was actually a corrugated cardboard packaging that came around a set of sheets that I purchased. Excuse me. But it was so sturdy, I was like, I can't, throw that away. It would be so, and the shape of it, I mean, the spine, hello, perfect size, for a nice spine. That's perfect for a book cover. So I gave it a whirl and absolutely love and adore this book. I call her SpottyDotty, with all the dots and spots. And I've had it for, a couple of years. I've been working in it. Not very often, just, here and there. But I thought what I would do is have a walkthrough of this book, and then we will make one online together, or, for you to use as a reference, out of some packaging materials that I have collected since then. So let's get started. First of all, I want to say, I think that this is actually, the thickness of the cover is actually only the original cardboard itself. It was really sturdy cardboard. You can see where it has some little indentions. My desk is so crowded. I don't have a lot of room here. And I know the whole thing is not showing in camera, but you get the idea. There's the very tip top, the bottom. It measures, let's see, let's start with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and a half inches tall by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 wide. Yep. 14 and a half tall, 11 wide. So it's very, perfect size for some of the things I have for big pages. It's great. I love SpottyDotty. Okay, so she's that big, and the spine is, let me get my ruler. It just happened to be 2 inches wide. Just about, maybe 2 to 2.25 inches thick she is here on her spine. So the other thing that was kind of neat about this book is that you know how the corrugated cardboard has this unfinished edge, and you can see the corrugation, inside, in between the, here you can see it better on this one, in between the layers. And it has this, it's unfinished. You can see down in there. Well, for some reason, I didn't do it. It turns out that the cardboard was finished, camera shaking, sorry, was finished on the edges. You can't see the corrugation in there. I did not do that. So the books that I'll be making 2 books. Well, okay. I've started making one, and that's what led me to decide, I ought to do a video on this and have y'all, make one with me. So we'll do the second one together. But anyway, on the second one, it's not closed in like that, finished off. And, this is a really sturdy edge, the way it's finished. The ones I have won't be like that. Now, you could run tape, over it and around the edges to finish it if you want. I just left them because I covered, with the first one I'm doing now, I covered it with material. I painted on mine because it was white. Yeah, that's another thing. The cardboard that I used to make this book from happened to be white. You can see it, through the background. I didn't paint it all the way. I used a brayer, to paint on the cover, the background. And you can see where it didn't, you know, go into some of the places that were kind of bent. Yeah, so there's that. But anyway, so SpottyDotty put together. Oh, I used duct tape, or yeah, I think it was duct tape. This peachy coral color to reinforce my spine. Didn't need it, you know, necessarily. So if you don't have that, don't stress over it. I mean, as little as I used the book, it really didn't have to have this on there. But too, I just thought it looked pretty. And it went well with the colors I had used on the cover. And on the cover, I used, oh, what is her name? Diane Reevely. One of her circular, is it Diane Reevely? Yes, it is. One of her circular gel plates to, you know, do the colors. I used some, to do my dots, the large dots. And I used a script stamp. I don't remember who that's by in the background. I also used, oh, and I think the paint is actually the Diane Reevely Dilutions paint. I believe these are hers. Like, that's probably periwinkle, and this is maybe bubblegum pink. Not positive, because it's been a while ago now. I use some kind of foam thing I have that is shaped like this to do the white circles. And I use my Woody Stabilo Woody pencil in black to do these black shadows and rings and stuff. Okay, oh, along the edge, just to finish off where the tape overlapped onto the cardboard, I just put some lace stuff trim that I had. And then I've got these ribbons that coordinated, you know, with the colors on my spine just to make it look pretty. And I used some hemp that I had, twine, that was in a pretty purple color. Okay, so open up. She is large. Yeah. It takes up my whole, you know, my whole desk space when I'm working on her. I have to clear things out of the way, which needs to be done anyway. What a mess. Maybe that should be something we do one day on camera, is clean my desk. Okay. Now, when I originally did the book, I did not have this pocket. In fact, I just did that earlier this year. Added this pocket. Let me see if you can see that. Let's get this out of the way. Yeah, there it is. Most of the pocket. In fact, the pocket takes up the whole thing. Yeah, I did that back in February. And, you know, I have, of course, lots of large images I've saved just for this book, and they fit in there nicely. And what it is just a manila, it felt sort of padded envelope, but it's not padded like with the bubble wrap. It's not that thick. Excuse me, but it had been reused before. You can see it's got lots of wrinkles and crinkles and tape. And it was a package I got from somebody in Maine, something I'd ordered off of Etsy or eBay, I'm sure. And I had just been saving it, had other things in it, and then it hit me. I needed a pocket on here, and this was near me, so I cut off the top and put this in and left my label on it. I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah. On the inside of the covers, well, let me just show you the back cover. You can see it better. I just used painty paper that I had created a while back. One of my favorite painty paper images that I did some time ago. I just love those color combinations. And then the white on the top, well, that was a stencil, I think from TCW, maybe. And anyway, happened to have 2 pages of that available that I made. So there it is there. And that was that. She has 3 signatures inside. I don't know if you can see there. Yeah. 1, 2, and 3. And that seems to be just perfect for this because it's starting to bulk up a little bit. And I think if I continue to work in this and put any more stuff in, it would be too big. I don't want her, alligator to open. I like it like it is. So anyway, decorated my front cover a little bit with some fun things, collage. And in this, you will see all kinds of stuff. I just threw in, I was kind of hard pressed for pages that were big enough, folded to put in. So I had to make some, I took some single pages and stitched them. You can see here, the pink is tape that I used to tape together this piece of wallpaper sample. I taped that to a piece of ledger paper, vintage ledger paper, see, and stitched them on the machine, sewing machine together to make a page that was big enough. But some of these are actually, page folds from other big books that I've got. I'll let you know when and what they are. Okay, the very first thing on this signature is a card that looks like this. Let me grab one. It has the word and the root of it, and you add, different letters at the beginning when it's folded to make new words, and the kids can practice that. Anyway, had a few of those, not many. I don't even remember where I got them. Anyway, I've used the folded part on the front as the very first part of this signature, and it worked out nice because, I was able to put, an image here and then something related to it on this small skinny piece. So that was kind of fun. I love her. I forget her name, and if I did know it off the top of my head, I probably wouldn't be able to pronounce it. But anyway, she loves everything polka dots. She says, polka dots are my means to deliver the message of love forever to the world. So since this book, is SpottyDotty, I thought, what a perfect place for homage to her, right in the very first page of my big SpottyDotty book. Although the whole book is not about spots and dots, but anyway. So this was just an image I found in a magazine that I thought was super cool with all the metallic balls in a pool with this model laying there like somebody crazy. Yeah. And I had painted on the back of this page, which is, or the front actually, because this is the back of the wallpaper sample. Not vintage, just, a little old and not wanted. I painted, did gesso on the base. And it just painted my spots. I think I used a stencil. I'm not sure. I don't remember. And some dots with a stamp, I believe. There may have been some splattering, but I think it was actually a stamp I used. Anyway, and did this little image here. I found her in a magazine and liked that. And the colors. So anyway, there's my first page. But the main gist of this is not so much what I've put in the book, but to show you what kinds of papers and materials I've used inside the book. Okay, so this first page we know is wallpaper sample. And then, just like on the first one, I had to construct, my pages with a center. I did the same thing with this music staff paper. I don't know what you call it. I think there's a name for that, but I don't know. But anyway, that's old. But I like it because it's quite thick, if you can hear that. And I just stitched it to a piece of peach cardstock. And of course, then on the back side of the signature, you'll have just the peach cardstock. Here's a large mailing envelope I was lucky enough to collect. A manila folder, file folder. And then this is a piece of a large calendar, like, a desk calendar you'd have sitting and you do all your stuff on it, like a blotting pad almost. I was lucky to find several of these, I think at Walmart on sale on clearance for like 50 cents or 75 cents after 2018. Yep, so that's a solid piece. This is a solid piece from one of the art books by Walter Foster. Oh, this one is not by him. It's by W. Alexander. Oh, it is a Walter Foster book, though. But I have several of these old drawing and painting books. And I was wondering what in the world, I was going to just, you know, paint and draw in these on top of the images or collage, you know, out the images. And then when I made this book, I was like, oh, this would be perfect to throw in my SpottyDotty book. So that's a solid foldable page. And a collage I put on the back of that. It's kind of fun. And then this is a target, a shooting target my husband had at the shooting range. Let's see what you can see. Yeah. And I just had this picture out of one of my large magazines of this girl's face I thought was kind of cool. But, yeah, he'll bring them home sometimes, he and my brother, and, you know, talk about what they did and what they shot and all this. And so I happened to catch them with these at the house, and they're nice and large. The other side of it is where? You know, here. There's the other edge. You know, and it's not perfect. It's got tears on it. You know, so what? Who cares? You know, you can patch that up if you'd like, or just do like I did and leave it like it is. And I used a lot of under papers. Oh, I'll get to that in a minute. Okay. This is a sheet from Stamping Up. It's some kind of design paper pad they had, but it's really big, you know, long paper. So that was nice for in here. Here's a piece of under paper that I had used, you know, while I was painting some stuff and for extra paint to paint off, you know, dab off of stuff, and had saved. I saved them, you know, a few at the time. So I popped that in. There's the other side of that. And this is all just the other side of everything. The Stamping Up plan paper, the target, shooting target, the Walter Foster book page. This is, yeah, the back side of the calendar, large desk calendar thing. The back side of the folder, file folder. Back side of the mailing envelope. Oh, this is fun. This is from the Nielsen Company, and it was, you know, they'll send out the surveys about things like you do at home and what you and your family watch on TV, who lives at your house and all that. And they usually will send you a dollar bill, like a real dollar bill in there. Yeah. So anyway, I didn't send it in. I kept the dollar because I wanted to save all the cool stuff, you know, the envelope and the paperwork. There's a, anyway, yeah, I saved all that. Let's see, this is the, cardstock from the, you know, I'd stitched onto the music paper, lined music paper at the front, the ledger paper hooked to the wallpaper, and then the rest of that card. Okay, signature 1. Now, signature 2 is very similar with a few little differences. This one, and what I'll do is, if it's something together, I'll show you the sides together. Yeah. So this one starts off with a piece of very old and brittle ledger paper. See that tear right there? I need to patch that. This paper is really brittle, but how can you not use it? Look at that coloring. You know, the yellowing along the edges is so perfect. It's torn down here too at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyway, I need to, oh, and it's also tearing along the tape. Yeah, so I need to really fix those to keep that as a, you know, solid page in here. But I stitched it to a page from, I think this is a wallpaper sample book page. You know, it's just regular, like really thick. Oh, like magazine cover maybe? Yeah, see, I attached them together with this green tape and then stitched down the tape to permanently attach it. Okay, then we have a page of pink, hot pink cardstock, and that is sewn to, on the back side, a piece of journal paper. Yeah, vintage number journal paper. And then I put in a doily, and this watch, okay, coming up. Okay, this is really large doily. You know, it's like, what am I going to do with these large doilies that I have? So this was perfect. So I probably should have put one in every signature, but I didn't. Okay, and that, you know, just folds over on the back. It's the same thing. I'm covering up the watch because it has a bad word on it. But I really like the watch simply because it's big, not because of the bad word, although it is kind of funny. This is attached to, I mean, the watch I put on this page is a Frankenstein page, or a Franken paper page. You know, where you take different pieces and glue them onto a solid piece underneath. You know, you Frankenstein them together. See, the back page was all this lined paper that makes your eyes cross. It's actually vintage wrapping paper I got from a store, which I don't know how vintage it actually is, truth be told, because it's stripes, blue and white. It looks more like 80s. Yeah. You know, it was old. Nobody wanted it, so I bought it. I took it. I got it at a yard sale. Yeah. So anyway, this is part of my Franken paper. And I think I did it in I did it several pages for a swap with Let's Make a Mess, you know, Dom, in that crowd several years ago. Can't believe it's been that long, but it has. But this is some I had left over. But anyway, this was perfect to just throw in here. I probably won't put another, you know, anything on this side. Of course, I did on that because it was plain. But yeah, I'll leave that side. Okay, kind of got off track there. Okay, so these are just some pullouts from magazines I'm saving for collage here in SpottyDotty because they're cool, you know, big images. This one's a TV, got some models, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. So just an example. Oops. Okay, the next set of pages, let's see what we have. We've done that one. We've done that one. Okay. So the next thing is another calendar page from the Big Desk calendar. Another Walter Foster drawing book page. And on the back, I put that's just one big magazine collage page. One solid page from a magazine is what I mean to say. Another Target paper. That's a solid page, yeah. And then another page, a solid page from that Stampin' Up pad. And then one solid page from my drop papers. That's in the middle. So the rest is just the other side. And this one, yeah, is mostly solid pages that I folded. There's the other side of the Franken page, Franken paper. Yeah, so I only had two that I had to put together in that one. Okay, the last signature, I started out with this card. It's, I don't know what kind of card it is. There's the other side of it. One side, you could put it in, and either way, you're going to have an up-down side with this, the way it's printed. Yeah, so I just folded that in half. Yeah, okay. Then we've got a page I constructed. So it's the vintage ledger on one side and old wallpaper sample on the other side. Okay. And then the next one is constructed also. This is, it looks solid because you'll see why. So this is cardstock. The light purple is cardstock. And on the back of the signature, you can see that I attached it to the lined music paper. Yeah, to make a whole folded sheet. All right. And another large, oh, this is the outside of the envelope, the outside mailing envelope that Nielsen company sent their survey in. And I saved that and painted it. I was redoing my den. And so this is my inspiration picture. I got white furniture and used the sea salt paint in the background. And these were some of the whites that I was looking at using for the trim work. And I saved, I got a thank you note from the store that I bought the furniture from. Yep, they sent a very deserved thank you card. It was fun though. Yeah, we had a good time buying that. And this card is just a large, you know, tag that I put in here to use with either, you know, something from redoing the den or, you know, the other side. I could use it for anything. Put that in there. These tags I got from Ranger. I'm pretty sure they were like Dilutions, you know. I mean, they aren't Dilutions, but I think it's from the Ranger group. But it was when I was buying some stuff from Diane Reevely's. I got those. A regular size folder, file folder. It's just that it's brown, you know, that tan brown color instead of manila. And I think, yeah, obviously that's what's on the other side. Oh, here's this is the back of the music line paper. I did some art and on a separate piece and glued it to that, attached it, and wrote about it over here. That's a fun book, Folk Art Fusion. If you like that style of art, that's a fun book. I got it for $1.69 on eBay. That was a good buy. And then this is the other half of that mailing envelope, and I did a cool tag on this. I love it. It says, "Life is beautiful." Happened to find that image of this girl with bees on her face, which I'm sure they probably aren't really on her face, but anyway, and made the tag out of that, and it's got writing space on the back, and got a little charm, bee charm up there. Super fun. But these tags are so fun to use in here. I already had them. Yeah, so that was good. Anyway, okay, so there's the other side of the envelope. Let me find the... Okay, so here we are at the envelope. I mean, file folder. And then we've got another calendar page. And here's the back of the calendar page. And then we've got the Walter Foster book on landscape. And I put something on it on this side. Some art. And I just had used a white pen to highlight some of the shapes in this these magazine images. See, there's the back of it. And then another Target paper. Then Stampin' Up page, drop paper, and the middle is blank, sort of. Okay, so, and I don't have a pocket. I don't like to put pockets in the back. I used to, but I don't anymore because when you're doing your art, I'm right-handed, you know, so I'm pressing down on this side, and it just makes it extra lumpy when you're trying to do art. So I put them on the front of most of my books. Of course, I could do some the other way. Some people, yeah, that are left-handed would probably rather have their pockets on the right-hand page. But anyway, I don't know unless somebody tells me. But I would gladly do that for people if they needed it. So anyway, that is the book, the style of book I'll be creating here online. Let me show you what I've already done so far. This is the second book I've started making, like my SpottyDotty. I'll be making 2 of these. And the bones of this one are made from a Stouffer's dinner entree box. And yeah, it's the, let's see what size it is. This is the party size entree. You know, I don't think they get any bigger than that. It's the party size. The family size is a little bit smaller. So I had one of these with lasagna and one with the enchiladas. The other one, I guess, is the lasagna book because it's already been covered. But anyway, we'll be making our box online with that. This one has one just like that inside. And instead of using the shape of the box, you know, to keep my spine or to use that as the spine, I did cut that box apart and made my, no, did I? Yeah, I did take it apart. It seemed, though, to make the spine a little bit bigger. Yeah. Because this, if I kept the box like it is and used this as the spine, or, you know, this side, I guess it would be this side, as the spine connected to the box without undoing anything. The spine is 1 3/4 inches, which would be okay. That would be fine, you know, 1 3/4 inches. But I wanted it a little bit bigger because I like the spine that I have on SpottyDotty. I just think it's nice. So I took the book apart, and in doing it, it just, you know, lends itself to being a little bit bigger. This ends up being about 2.5 inches, actually. Yeah, so I didn't mind going bigger. I just didn't want to go smaller than the one I already had. And so, anyway, I also, you'll notice that this cardboard is not as, you know, sturdy as the cardboard I had for the SpottyDotty. So I had to reinforce it. And to do that, I used corrugated cardboard. Just attached it to the panels. You'll see as we make it. It's really easy to do. And I used white duct tape to put the spine on and attach it to the covers, and then to cover up where it, you know, meets, just to make it look prettier, I added this rosette trim on the front and the back. And I had covered the covers with fabric instead of painting it. And I could have painted it, you know, but I thought these are going to be for sale on my Etsy shop. This one and the next one that we'll be doing together, I'll put for sale on Etsy. And I thought people, you know, might want to leave it plain like it is, or, you know, just glue some things to it, attach it that way. Of course, if you've got a heavy-duty machine, you could sew some things on here or hand stitch them. Either way, because it is corrugated cardboard and the food container, so it's not, it wouldn't be super hard to hand stitch. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, the pages I lined the covers with are just some painting pages that I made. And my inspiration for this, well, of course, were the colors. I chose this fabric. It's just some extra that I had that I picked up at Hobby Lobby from their, you know, overcuts and ends of rolls that they get. Sorry, my camera keeps shaking. But it's, you know, lilac background with this design on it, the SpottyDotty. It's similar to that. And inside these little points are turquoise and lime green and like a deeper purple color. So on the inside, I saw this painting paper that I made a while back, and I love that. Anyway, the color of it, but see, it's mixed colors. I couldn't recreate it exactly because I don't know what I used exactly. I was just playing around one day, and but I knew it had yellow and green. There's some turquoisey blue back there, but I just thought that would go so well with, you know, this. Just be kind of bright and pretty. Anyway, what I ended up with was this, which I like just as good, but I knew the lime would match and go well with the, you know, the lime flecks on the cover. And this is a sponge from Art Foamies. And if you have never tried them, you really ought to. Whoops, my box came apart. I keep them in a baby white tub. But it's these stamps from Art Foamies. They are wonderful, and they're super for using with craft paint. You know, because they're big, bold designs. And I have this one. and this one. Now, these, I'm not sure if these are art foamies, these feather ones or not. I don't remember where I got those, but I bought these in one set. I got all of these in a set, which was, you know, the best way to buy them. But I've had them for several years, and they clean up great. You just wash them with, I typically don't even always use soap on them. I just use water, and they clean up really nice. But I got it mostly because of this one that looks like a doily when you stamp it. It's wonderful. Anyway, I've used them for all kinds of things. They're also good for, whoops. They're also good for, gosh, I can't remember the name of anything, for gel plate printing, jelly plating. These are your inside papers, and like I said, I used the white duct tape to attach the spine that I created. And the spine, I ended up putting another layer of stuff to reinforce that spine. So there's actually 3 layers of stuff on the spine part, because that really does need to be durable. And I mean, I used the box, the food box, and then the corrugated cardboard, and this is actually more sturdy than my book is, my personal book. Yeah, so that turned out nice. Now the size of this is a little different, you know, because the box, food box is different, but it measures, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 inches tall by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half wide. So 13 tall by 10 and a half wide. It's still a pretty, you know, very nice sized book. And I already have several things picked out for the signatures for this one. And they're very similar to things, you know, that we'll be using for the one that we'll make together. But I've, you know, found this envelope for, I was thinking about for a pocket on the inside. And I've got drop papers, you know, with stuff already on them. I've got restaurant menus I've collected, and other papers from restaurants, and like that's a map of a grocery store. These are all the drop papers for this one. They're blank. Well, that one's blank. But, you know, yeah, just random stuff. I found some legal legal folders. Legal size. They're longer. And I might fold up one to make, you know, pockets in one of the signatures, you know, like this before I put it in. I don't know. Just thinking about that. I picked out some of the Walter Foster book pages. Yeah. To use. Some ledger papers. These are just some like paper placemats I happened to find a pad of in a thrift shop. More of the Stampin' Up! Planner papers. Wallpaper sample pages. And I think I didn't have to cut them in the other book, but I think I will, yeah, for this book. I'll have to cut some of the length off, but that's okay. They're still easy and to use. And then more of the calendar pages from the desk calendar. And I happen to have some large mailing envelopes. But these are good width just for the one page of the book. I'll probably attach them to something else to make, you know, the other side of the page. If you fold these, they start getting really skinny. You know, I may do one like that. Not sure. We'll see how it goes. And then just some big papers I had from some junk mail. And the envelope from that junk mail. Yeah, see, it's bigger than the book itself. So, on my next video, we will get started on making the next version of this that I'll be putting in my Etsy shop. So, hope to see you there. Bye.